What's up guys, back with another video, and today's topic is going to be progressive overload. I know I said that the next video was going to be the ab video, but to be honest with you guys, I haven't been training abs a lot lately, and when I did train abs, the gym was way too crowded, or let's say the place where I train abs was way too crowded to record, but I promise that video is coming. Now, progressive overload does come into play when we're talking about ab training as well, so it's kinda logical to do this video before the ab video. Now I know you guys do care about abs because everyone cares about abs, but abs aren't the most important. But because it's important to you guys, I do promise that a video is coming. Now, straight on to progressive overload. Now, why do I want to make a separate video on progressive overload? The reason for that is that progressive overload is the most important thing when you're a natural lifter. Now, don't get me wrong, you still need to progress when you're taking steroids. It's not like when you're taking steroids, you don't need to train, you just sit around at your house and you become bigger and bigger and bigger. It doesn't work like that. When you take steroids, you still need to go to the gym, but it's just easier than for someone who lifts naturally, someone like me. Now, if you're a natural lifter, progressive overload is the most important part of lifting. Progressive overload doesn't mean that you need to lift heavier and heavier and heavier all the time. If that was the case, then well, your gym is going to run out of plates, isn't it? Now, progressive overloads can come in various ways. So the most common way is to add weight to your exercises and make them heavier. But that's not the only way. Another way, for instance, is to do the same weight but to rest less between your sets, or to increase sets, increase reps. Those are all possibilities to progressive overload. Now, how do you keep track of progressive overload? Well, there are a ton of ways to keep track of it. Now, there are apps, you can put notes in your phone like I do, you can keep a journal, which I do as well. So just make sure that you're progressing over time. Take my deadlift as an example. My deadlift is probably the lift in which I've progressed the most. I remember the time when putting on 3 plates on a bar was something huge and what scared me, and now 3 plates is actually part of my warm-up routine. So progress will come over time, guys. It's a slow thing, and especially when you're a natural lifter, it becomes harder and harder and harder over time, but that's what makes lifting fun to me. The fact that lifting becomes harder and you need to work harder. Now, something that can help you with progressive overloading is the Wendler 531 program that I've talked about a lot on the channel already, because it gives you set numbers and you need to improve every single time, every single week, every single month, and that's something that can help you. Obviously, keeping notes in your phone, looking at them like, what weight did I do last week? Try to improve, try to do more reps, try to rest less, try to add an extra set with the same amount of reps. Just try to progress over time. Don't go into the gym thinking like, oh man, what do I need to do today? Well, I just stack on a couple of weights and see what happens. No, don't go into the gym like that. Sure, you need to have fun in the gym, but try to improve as well. Try to improve your physique by improving your lifts. Now, another way that you can progressive overload is actually by doing the same weight. Now, don't get me wrong, you need to progress in another aspect. For instance, when you do a huge bench PR and you go on to train triceps, your tricep is already exhausted from doing that PR. But if you're able to do the same weight for the same amount of reps than you did last week after that big PR, that's progressive overload as well, because your muscles are tired and you're still able to hammer out the same weight. So that's progressing as well. So progressing doesn't mean that you need to hit a PR on every single exercise, every single session. You just need to improve on maybe one exercise and do the same on other exercises. That's progressing as well. As long as you're progressing, your body will progress as well. So that's something that you really need to keep in mind for all muscle groups, guys. Not only for chest, back, the big muscle groups, for every muscle group. And that's why I wanted to make this video on progressive overload before I do the ab video. because progressive overload comes into play with app training as well, and that's something that a lot of people forget, but that's a topic for the next video. Hope you enjoyed this little informational video on progressive overload. If you have any questions about it, be sure to drop them down below. I will get back to you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. You know how that goes on YouTube. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that little red box that says subscribe. And then as always guys, I see ya in the next.